Primetime.
Primetime.
What time is it? Showtime Primetime.
It's XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.
I reduced my toilet paper down to 3 squares.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses and big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
In a Mocama Beer Company Monday. Happy to be back hanging out with you all, hanging out with Big Sirs, Maddie, JJ. We have got it going today, coming out of the weekend. Daytona 500 ended last night. We got that to look back on and plenty of other things from the sports world over the weekend. And then look ahead, because tomorrow, I think, is the first day you can start putting franchise tag labels on players. You got the GM search with your Jacksonville Jaguars hot and heavy right now. So plenty to get into. Good weekend, fellas.
Yeah.
Did you hold it down?
Held it down.
Yeah.
Held it down.
Anything crazy over the weekend? JJ went down to St. Augustine, and it was nothing but NASCAR fans down there.
I did. Dude, this is how off of NASCAR is not on any regular sports fan's mind, because I'm the biggest sports fan on earth, and I'm literally in St. Augustine on Saturday, and I see all these people NASCAR stuff all day.
Oh, yeah.
And it took me about 4 or 5 drinks to realize, oh my God, there's a race tomorrow.
Yeah, were they
right
all
around here, and they're here for that.
As they were walking around St. Aug, were they all turning left the whole time? The whole time? I'm sure they were.
But they all fit a pretty similar demographic.
Yeah.
They look like they're from where I'm from, Ocala.
Yeah, that's right. Gearheads.
You guys were watching NASCAR, huh?
Yeah. Well, I was calling golf and then watched NASCAR afterwards, but it's a sport that
it is a sport.
They still have their diehards that are going to be there, that drive and travel and are passionate about it, but it ain't as big as it once was. It's just the reality of it. Nothing as big as it once was compared to football. That's for sure.
Did you happen to glance or hear about the national team hockey team USA against Canada?
Oh yeah.
Did you see what happened to that thing?
Well,
badass.
Well, first off, they're booing the national anthem, the Canadians, okay?
Yeah.
Puck drops. The thing, as the puck's dropping, he's taking off his gloves.
Yeah,
and
gloves came off.
He starts beating the hell out of the Canadian guy, okay? 3 fights in the first 9 seconds.
It was a pretty even fight. I wouldn't say he beat
it was the best.
hell out of the
Hang on. 3 fights in the first 9 seconds, all right? And then, the USA was the underdog. I mean, Team Canada's a better team.
Generally speaking, Canada's supposed to be better at hockey.
Who got the dub? 3-1 on the road.
Yeah, exactly. So JD and I,
Team
my buddy,
us, JoJo.
from Sunset Grill, he's texting me about NASCAR, and he's like, I'm not a huge NASCAR fan. He goes, but this is what it's all about. And then he's a Rangers fan, big hockey fan, and it was great theater. It really was. And that goes back to Saturday night when that went down.
They showed that when they were booing the national anthem, they showed the USA play. They were pissed off.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
they weren't having any of that, man. You knew it was going to happen early.
I thought it was perfect to have that because it's not the Olympics, folks. It's some exhibition tournament.
Yeah.
They're still national
and
teams,
that's how hard they're playing. Meanwhile, the same weekend, you had the NBA exhibition.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what happened. I also didn't watch that, but I know they weren't playing hard.
Yeah.
But I know that there was Team Shaq versus Team Ernie, and all the players were complaining. A guy won the dunk contest who's not even in the NBA.
He's won before,
Imagine that. He's won 3 times.
Yeah.
They literally got a guy who's not in the league.
Isn't he
for
still
the dunk contest?
The pride of the Magic?
He was wearing a Magic jersey. I didn't get that.
Yeah.
Someone explain that to me on the
because he once was, I think is what it was.
But it's sad what's happened to me, or what's happened to NBA All-Star Weekend. I remember as a kid, just that Vince Carter dunk contest, the Richardson dunk contest. It used to be so cool.
It ain't the same.
Well, you know who ruined it?
Lame.
The youth. That's who ruined it. Ruined it all for all of us.
Well, none of the players wanted, when LeBron never did the dunk contest, it was sort of now no stars.
Well, the other thing
you never
is
saw
that
Kobe really.
They're all flipping out that LeBron didn't play in the All-Star game. Well, he's been doing it for 20 years.
You get the man a pass.
Yeah, he's allowed.
40 years old.
And then Anthony Edwards is there on the bench but never played. It's just all kinds of craziness as far as that goes. Anyway, it has become a lost weekend. It is basically what it is. And if you're an NBA fan, you definitely can let us know what you think. 641-1010. Draymond Green went after it and said it's a zero, it's a loser, it's this, it's that.
Well, he was saying that about the regular season games,
not
too.
basketball. Yeah, and heck, he's talking about it's just nothing but 3-point shooting. Well, that is kind of what his team is in a lot of ways. before.
That's how his team won, didn't it?
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
Trying to figure that out. That's all. Go figure.
All right, so we got plenty to get into. You guys, like we said, text line wide open, designed by Lifetime Enclosures, 641-1010. You can jump in on any of the things that you saw over the weekend. Of course, we got the GM search to talk about. We say thanks to Mocama Beer Company. They always bring you Mondays on XL Primetime, and every single day they're serving up that terrific coffee. They got their, really, the baristas, they set it up for you with fresh baked goods along with that terrific coffee. Tuesday through Sunday, you can get the delicious craft. That means you can belly up to the bar and enjoy some great Mocama. Check them out right there in Fernandina Beach, South 8th Street, as you enter the historic district, and Wildlight over as you're coming off of I-95. That is a huge community in Nassau County. So what do we think about the GM search right now, based that it's boiled down to 5 candidates and Big Search? You guys, I'm sure we're talking about it Thursday and Friday when they were narrowing it down, doing the interviews, and now coming in with live interviews. This does need to happen pretty fast, because you now have got some decision-making to do as far as
I'm in no rush. I really am. I'm not in a rush. I want them to get it right.
Sure, I got no problem with that.
I don't want this to be no inside job neither, if you know what I mean. I want them to get it right, bro. I'm being honest with you.
It's starting to look like one.
I'm just saying, for the last, listen, I said for the last decade and a half, man, we need to fix this thing. We can't be in constant rotation with GMs and head coaches. We need to find the right GM. We need to find the right coach and fix the franchise.
Yeah,
that's what needs to happen.
Yeah,
so I mean, right now, if it takes you now it's getting closer to like what the combines rolling around the corner, all that kind of stuff. Free agency tags are going to be happening. Free agency will be rolling in. So you want to have the proper people in place to make this stuff happen. So, I'm kind of like, take your time, but hurry up.
Yeah.
Take your time, but hurry up.
But you got to do it before the 26th, right?
26, yeah.
Yeah.
What happens if they don't do it after 26?
Then you can't be at the draft, I believe, right?
No, you can't be at the you can't be at the draft or the combine.
Well, they can't get a GM until after the draft, which is
it's not happening.
a killer.
It is a little bit of a
fathom that happening.
No.
It is kind of odd that they would have that type of rule in place, and then I was actually even more
then
shocked.
they just use Ethan Waugh.
Well, he could be promoted. That easily could happen.
That's kind of my point.
Yeah. Well, and look, that's what I totally get your point. I mean, that's what they did last
the
time.
Funkins, what they're going to do.
Yeah. And so that's what you think?
Inside job, baby. The P-Funk is going to stay. I'm thinking, the longer it takes, the more I'm thinking it's just going to be an inside job.
Yeah.
Ethan Wise will get the job.
I do love you guys because you guys went with the whole thing before that nothing was going to change, and then everything changed.
Well, we were half right first, right?
Yeah, but as long as you keep feeling it and thinking it,
He's
there's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, Trent left us a little something.
And the way it did unfold before, they did take a guy and move him up in Trent once they got rid of Dave Caldwell. So you guys' theory has been proven out before, because that is what Shad Khan did. And so you can easily throw darts at that idea. I just feel like the guy is that you're basically keeping a thread between what was there, kind of keeping the house in order with all the analysis and the scouting department and personnel and all that stuff that's been going on. Keep Ethan Waugh involved. I don't know whether he rises to the level of GM.
As the acting GM, you would think he's the acting GM, right?
I guess so.
Okay. Is he in on the interviews for the GM?
I think it's a Shad thing, and it might be a Baselli thing.
Okay, so he's not in on the interviews. Are you telling me?
I don't know.
I think he sits on his own interview.
Yeah, I mean,
because if he's in on the other 4 interviews, right?
Saboteur.
The other interviews for the finalists now. Is he gonna sabotage the other interviews?
Come on, think about it. You're like, all right, I'm
just playing around. Look, I'm just playing around, but it's funny. It's funny to think that way if he's the quote unquote acting GM.
Right. I've listened to everybody, and I don't like any of them. I like me, and so yeah, I get that. But I would think that is the fact that they did bring Tony Baselli in as an EVP, and I would think it's a Khan thing and a Baselli thing. At least I wouldn't think that Ethan Waugh would be part of it. But anyway, he is as qualified, whether he's good or not. He's as qualified as any of the other guys that are being thrown up there. Now, you take a look at the other organizations where these other guys are coming from.
Wait a second. Why is he as qualified? He was the number 2 guy of a guy who ran the franchise in the ground the last 22 games.
Right. All I'm saying is as qualified. I'm not saying that he's never been a GM before, and none of these other guys have been a GM. They've all been in personnel, and he's worked for multiple organizations in the personnel department, all that type of stuff. But my point is that the others have been where front offices have thrived, be it in L.A., up in Green Bay, out in San Francisco. All these places have definitely had success. And so there's a reason why you're looking there in those other spots as opposed to looking here. That I'm not going to defend the idea of Ethan Waugh becoming the GM or that he's any more or less of a qualified candidate. He just happens to be the holdover guy. And so they included him. It's like an interim being included in a head coaching search in a lot of ways.
What we're doing by definition is insanity. You know that, right?
If you keep repeating it, yeah.
Thinking if this Ethan Waugh signing, it'll be something that we've already done before.
Right.
And how did it work out for us?
Yeah, it has not.
Okay.
And honestly, like I said, I would like to see outside ideas, thoughts, people that are coming in with the idea that I can fix what you're dealing with, what you've been going through for a long time. This is not a problem that cropped up here recently. This has been going on for decades in terms of personnel decisions. This team has caught fire twice since Shad Khan owned the team, making it to the postseason. The rest of the time, it's been deplorable. And so, yeah, they need to have outside influences come in and change this.
Here's the reason why I'm thinking it's Ethan Waugh, because, I mean, the coaching staff is already complete. So that means right now they're having meetings, they're having conferences about combine travel, free agents, who are going on tag, not tag, unrestricted free. All these conversations are being held without the GM. So what lets me thinks that Ethan Waugh is in on it is because you can't miss those kind of meetings. Those kind of meetings, if you're in the same direction as far as what you want your team to look like,
right.
Each day that goes by, the GM is missing those opportunities. Is why I'm thinking that Ethan, who's in house right now,
right? Maybe he's not missing those opportunities.
Maybe he's not.
Yeah.
That's what makes me a little weary about it.
Yeah, and I get it. But at the same time, and Shad may have already said, look, we're going to give you every opportunity to interview for this position, but we want you paying attention in case you are working underneath one of these guys. I have no idea. I'm playing the theories just like you guys are playing the theories. And you just be looking at it like you've got to make sure that
I don't like any of our theories, by the way.
Yeah. Well,
none of them sound good.
I don't either. Well, I like my theory of him staying and being underneath whoever comes in. I don't have a problem with that. I don't want to run him out of the building. He's regarded as a respected mind when it comes to personnel, evaluation, contracts, all that type of stuff. But what?
Is he?
Oh, my gosh. It's so easy to ask the question every single time. It's so easy.
I mean, he was part of what happened.
I get that, but he wasn't in charge. I'm not even stumping for him, Matt. I'm just simply saying that he can be a transition guy, a holdover guy. Gene Smith was part of the problem.
Sure, I have no problem with the transition guy.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you have to keep him.
No, you don't.
Like if I'm the GM, let's just say Ian Cunningham gets the job. I'm just throwing the name out there,
right.
Okay? No inside information. Let's say Ian Cunningham gets a job. He comes into this office. Do you think he's going to take this job knowing that they say, hey, this guy who was with before, who was part of the process of how we failed the last 2 years, he's going to stay and be your number two?
I don't know.
You think he would agree to that?
I don't know. He's given the opportunity to be a GM. I think he might.
We're going to go back to the 1 of 32 again now.
Well, he might. It's an opportunity. Look, just because he has an underling that had a hand in this team sucking doesn't mean he can't turn it around with that guy underneath him. He's going to do a lot of the heavy lifting inside the building. I'll give you the perfect example. This is the perfect example. I don't know whether Ben Johnson will be a success in the National Football League as a head coach. He's been a successful offensive coordinator, considered one of the bright minds offensively. What's one of the things he does? He hires Press Taylor to be part of his staff, the most hated play caller in America.
Right, but Press Taylor didn't interview for the head coaching job, too.
He just was brought in.
That's my point. Is the guy they're going to make your number two is the guy who interviewed for your job and didn't get it, and you did.
He was brought in underneath him is my point. Okay, that's the deal. This guy that gets canned here was brought in underneath him and considered what's not a liability, but a plus, a positive. So I don't know. That's the way these things work. And you start taking a look at all these other names that are out there. There are definitely a lot of guys that we don't know a whole hell of a lot about. Do we know a lot about James Gladstone?
I don't know that we know about any of the finalists,
right?
Including Ethan Waugh.
Exactly. In a lot of ways, yes. Other than the relationships that people around here have had with him. But no, I don't know a whole heck of a lot about him. So you guys let us know.
My whole thing is if you're going young everywhere else, And they're going young everywhere else.
Yeah.
Go young again with this choice.
So I do want to bring up at least one thing that Albert Breer said about this whole situation, about that youth part of it. And then Trevor Lawrence was a guest on Kay Adams earlier talking about where things are here with this new regime. So we'll get into that coming up. We're going to talk hoop, March Madness a little bit later on Mondays with Mark Wise, along with the Quarterback Whisperer, all ahead on a Mocama Beer Company Monday.
A symphony of sweat, grit, and glory. Dive into the action and live the moments. For play-by-play, it's 1010XL.
Don't miss the Players' Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy, from delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash. There are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scotty Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course featuring the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
It's the President's Day weekend sale going on now at Arlington Toyota. Mia here. Come shop over 800 vehicles in one location. Plus, now through Monday at Arlington, you get financing as low as 0% on select new models. Or you can save up to $8,500 off select new Toyotas. And at Arlington, you can get pre-qualified without it affecting your credit score. It's the President's Day weekend sale going on now at Arlington Toyota on Atlantic Boulevard, just a quarter mile east of 295, or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
This is the Mangler. Years of playing football coupled with lifestyle left my feet mangled with neuropathy. I was experiencing burning, tingling, and numbness. I spoke with 2 foot specialists, and they told me there was no cure. They were wrong. I found Dr. Nate Riddle in Ponte Vedra. After utilizing his neuropathy treatment for only 2 weeks, I noticed a difference in my feet. I was regaining my feeling and balance. If you want relief from nerve pain, call Dr. Nate for a free consultation at Riddle Wellness, 904-395-5598.
Upgrade your home with the winning combination of style and performance from Renewal by Andersen. Energy efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. For a limited time, buy 4 windows or patio doors and get the 5th free. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. This offer expires February 28th. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Hey, folks, Nick here for Zero Res. And if you still have a little bit of time for the hottest price of the year on carpet cleaning, maybe you had people over for the game or you're doing early spring cleaning. But in February, only $147 for 3 rooms, plus the 4th room is free. That's right. Schedule now and you'll get 3 rooms for $147, and the 4th room is free. Yeah, the 4th room is on me. Hottest price of the year. Zero Res. Spell it forward, spell it backwards. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
CEROREZ. Zero Res.
Spend lunchtime with the ladies.
A meal and sparkling conversation.
Helmets and heels.
Mia O'Brien, Lauren Brooks, and Taylor Dahl.
Just behave, okay?
Switched on by First Coast Lighting and Fans on 1010XL.
Are you an experienced chiller technician and looking for a role where your skills are truly valued? It's time to make the move to Local 234, plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. You'll get top pay, comprehensive health and welfare benefits for your family, and a pension that doesn't come out of your pocket. Join the team that's got your back. Local 234, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit UA234.com to send your resume today.
Equal opportunity employer. You don't have to be a football star to get a signing bonus. The team at Republic Services needs your skills, and they're paying up to $5,000 for you to join the roster. You'll be joining a winner. As an essential business, the Republic Services trucks have not stopped rolling with hourly and weekly pay and better benefits and vacation packages than the rest of the league. Driver trainees, $1,000 sign-on bonus. CDL drivers, $3,000. Diesel mechanics, $5,000 bonus. Join the winning team at Republic Services today. Visit republicservices.com.
Equal opportunity employer.
Hey, poker fans, the action at the tables is hot at Best Bet with over $600,000 in promotions paid out this month. Don't miss out on table game giveaways, 24-karat gold day in Jacksonville, Insta-Pay boost at St. Augustine, and the daily high hand promotions at all 3 locations. Whether you're a poker pro or a newcomer to the game, everyone has a shot at winning big. Go all in and join us at Best Bet. Visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
What could you do with an extra $75,000 right now, or even a couple $100,000? If you own a home, you can get that money in less than a week with Loan Pronto. Hey, Prosser here. Loan Pronto is the leader in quickly converting your home equity into cold, hard cash, so you can pay off all your credit cards or start that home remodel. Loan Pronto has several easy options to let you access the cash from your home. There's virtually no paperwork, no cumbersome process, no junk fees, often no appraisals. Listen, the average homeowner now has over $300,000 in equity. That's your money. Use it. One client got $150,000 out and paid off all their credit cards, 2 car loans, and a personal loan, cutting their monthly expenses by $1,500. You can get approved in as little as 1 day, so act now with no hard credit pull up front. LoanPronto.com or 904-999-1508. Get the money you need for anything at 904-999-1508 or just go to LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, this did catch fire last week with you guys on XL Primetime and around the 1010XL timeline. What is going on? Is Pittsburgh trying to pluck Trevor Lawrence out of Duval? Well, he was on with Kay Adams earlier today, lengthy interview, and we pulled the one excerpt, which we think is worth playing because basically he's saying, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to Pittsburgh. So you guys listen to this. This is Kay Adams with a little Q&A talking to Trevor about the idea when that, can you call it a rumor? When that rumor was out there that potentially Pittsburgh would be interested in trading for Trevor.
There were these rumors and reports last week that you're trying to just decide between Huggies and Pampers, and then the internet decides that the Steelers wanted to trade for you. What did you think of that?
That's funny. I didn't really see anything. My agent texted me and was like, "Hey, this is a." And then of course I saw it after. He texted me and said, "Hey, this is a report that's out there. I don't think there's anything to it, but I'll check into it." So I saw it, and it's funny though. When he sent it to me, I was like, I wouldn't say your heart drops, but you're kind of like, what? Like you think, and then I'm like thinking about well, I can't even get. I have a no trade clause in my contract, so I would know about it if I was getting traded, or if that was something that was going to happen. I'd have to be on board with it. So, which I'm not. I'm happy here in Jacksonville. I plan on. We want to win a Super Bowl here, and I think we can do that. And I don't want to leave Jacksonville. So I'm happy here. Obviously, not going to Pittsburgh.
Who's the person, since you don't have a GM right now, who's the person that calls your agent? What did they say? Like, that's such a crazy moment.
I can't remember. I think my agent reached out to Adam Schefter and was just like, "Hey, you heard anything about this?" Because you're right, because we don't have a GM. And
like who?
Liam texted me actually, I guess the day after it came out, and Liam said, "Shouldn't even have to say this, but that's not coming from us." And I was like, "Yeah, I figured." So we're all good. He didn't even have to send that. I didn't. There was no doubt on my side. But
the Jags don't want to lose you, but that's not. The Steelers might have wanted you. That story was totally not true? They didn't.
I have no idea. I know that we weren't involved in conversations about that as far as Jacksonville goes. I don't know about the Steelers' desires or wants, or I don't know.
You really don't know? That's crazy. I would need to know. A Hall of Fame coach named Mike Tomlin is potentially doing like a hard inquiry on you. You don't care? You don't know?
I like Coach Tomlin. He's a good guy, but no, I'm set here. I like I said, we love Jacksonville. This is home for us. And there's a lot more on the football side that, we've yet to accomplish here. And I'm excited about what we're building. The future's very bright, and I want to be the guy here for a long time.
All right, that is a fact. There's a lot that is yet to be accomplished. Yes.
A lot.
Your
We haven't even
thoughts,
started with the foundation yet. Well, those savages,
Lots to
those
take
Steelers.
away from that.
I know. No trade clauses, everything. Steelers tampering with bids.
I don't think the Steelers are tampering. I think it was just some guy who threw it out there and he had no idea what he was talking about. That's what I think it was.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, we get a little news that he has a no trade clause, which means he cannot be traded unless he approves it. And number three, I just think it's interesting that with no GM here, Trevor reached out to Adam Schefter at ESPN.
Yeah.
To see if there's any truth to it.
The agent, yeah, which
not his new coach, not a team man or anything. Not the owner of the franchise, but to Adam Schefter. And then he said Liam later called him and said we're not part of it. Blah blah blah.
Right, but think about it. If you are a player, don't you want to find from the outside first, as opposed to?
My first call, if I was him and they didn't have GM, my first call would have been to Shad. Very first call.
Yeah, and
what's going on?
Now you heard him. He was just waffling just a little bit.
Maneuvering. He was.
Yeah.
He was maneuvering left and right, here and there.
And so he may.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, may not have wanted.
Always some truth to some lie.
Yeah, say some or all of what happened. Yeah, but at the same time, the Schefters of the world, they may copy and paste what agents tell them to say, but they talk to the agents.
Sure, no doubt.
Yeah, and those people as much as
I think Adam Schefter does a great job. It's not even a question.
Mhm.
I just think it's interesting that he reached out to a media guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't reach out to his owner.
Right. And
like, wouldn't you just call the owner and say, what the hell's going on, man?
Maybe, unless.
Oh, I let Ethan handle that.
Yeah.
I didn't have many conversations with Wayne, just by the way.
Yeah.
Say, hey, Wayne, hey, what's going on?
Bro, if you heard, hey,
No
we're
offense,
trading
but
Leon.
You weren't the star, number one overall pick quarterback who they gave $250 million.
But if he just slid that $20 million check to you, and 2 weeks later you hear, we're going to trade Leon, what are you going to do?
Let my agent handle it.
Right.
But if there's no GM free agent to handle it, what are you going to do? Are you going to tell Drew, okay, well then call Wayne Weaver?
I will call the head coach. I'll be like, TC, what the hell? Y'all just signed.
All right, that's possible, but
that's possible too.
Yeah, because I'm going the other way. I'm like, wait a minute. If they're about to do this, I want as much intel. Hey, my agent, get on the phone, find out what's going on outside of the building, and then leverage. You start to create a little leverage. I don't know, but it does. It was interesting the way it was said because there were Steelers people reaching out saying, hey, is there legs to this? What's going on? And there wasn't. Apparently, a whole heck of a lot.
Just my interaction with some of the Steelers fans, they were elated that because they got whiff of it. It was like,
oh yeah,
because they got quarterback situation right now where you got Justin Fields, who they don't like that much, and then Russell Wilson, who they don't like even more. So they need a quarterback bad.
Well, get into the sidebar real quick as far as the Steelers are concerned with you.
Oh yeah. Of course, I had to reach out to Duval. Well, at least I got an email over the weekend. Well, the Steelers reached out to me because this is the 30th anniversary of the 95 team that played in the Super Bowl 30. So they want to bring the 95 team back for one of the games and celebrate it. So my question to Duval is, do I do it or do I don't do it? Matt Hayes, you got your chin. You got any requests? I mean, not requests, but.
I think you do it. And it has nothing to do with an insult to Duval or anything. They're part of your history too.
True.
You're no different than the Canes reaching out to you and asking you to do something.
Oh, well, the fact that you did make it.
He's far enough removed from his playing days.
It's been 30 years.
And you made it to an AFC championship. You made it to a Super Bowl. That part I totally.
And think about the dinners at a steakhouse with your homies.
Right.
Like
a lot of rekindling about
also, bro,
I love a nice dinner with the friends.
That's
might have a ring.
Now, well, yeah, I got to think about this too because Neil was on that team. I hope Neil does show up. I do really. So I can ask him that question at the dinner table. What the hell were you thinking?
You won't do that.
Who will I?
You'll hug him.
Please, I will ask him.
Will you hug him?
I don't know about hugging. I shake his hand.
One of those handshake hugs.
Yeah, that one of those.
It's one of those you have to be thankful. You have to be thankful for where you got to, but you still can be bitter for where you didn't get to.
Listen, it's no different. Listen,
both can be true.
Listen, it's no different like when I go to the Canes game and I see Vinny Testaverde. In my head, I'm like, how'd you throw 5 in one game, bro? You threw 7 all season. My mind says it, but my mouth just won't let it go.
Yeah, can't
come
help
out my
it.
mouth.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I will ask Neil about the interceptions, though, for facts.
All right. So real quick, I just want to bring up Albert Breer, just as far as what was being said as far as the Jaguars are concerned, because he's pointing out, just like a lot of other people have pointed out, and he's one of those guys that MMQB, Monday Morning Quarterback, he does a great job with SI, but he's one of the guys that has said, hey, youth is being served. There's no question about that on this football team here in Duval. But you got to make sure that whatever you do when you're talking about the front office or whomever you might bring in beyond who you already have added has some experience, because it will take on the feeling of a technical center if you're not careful. You guys, I'm sure, reacted to the pressers as far as the offensive and defensive coordinators. They said a lot of the right things, a lot of good fun things to get fired up about. But you have to have people with experience at some point in that building. Doesn't mean they all have to have it. You don't need a bunch of old heads, but you got to have guys that can come in and give you that organizational success.
Bro, I agree with you totally, but the youth movement is on here.
It is.
Just by the hirings. A lot of these guys are going to be first time on the job site at that position. So, I mean, I don't see the GM job ain't going to be any different. Most of the guys that they interview have never been GMs.
It will be a brand new GM. That much we do know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not rocket science. It's football. It's the idea that you can't have an all young and you need somebody old in there that knows what's going on. That led to 5-17 over the last 22 games.
I'm not even suggesting
I don't think there's any question you can go with a young GM.
Yeah.
And let them figure it out, because you've tried everything else. Now, had they not tried everything else, had they not tried the former Super Bowl winning coach, had they not tried the elite college head coach, had they not tried, the assistant that they hired from prior, then I'd say, okay, maybe I wouldn't go completely full on board youth. You've done everything else and it's all failed. Try something completely different now.
Yeah, and the only guy that they've hired as GM that had a GM job previous was Trent Baalke. Every other one was a first-timer.
Right.
Because that's just basically the progression. That's how it goes. You go from coordinator to head coach. You go from assistant GM or director of player personnel to GM. And in the case of Coughlin, they gave him 2 titles as he walked in and let him basically begin and build this organization. But other than that, Trent was the only one that had that previous title.
Not only that, they never hired a GM who had respectability around the league either. In their entire franchise history, they never did.
Oh, Gene Smith. Are you kidding me?
Because, I mean, Tom clearly was the first one,
Yeah.
but he was just the expansion guy.
Yeah.
But in their entire history, they haven't done that.
Yeah.
And if they hire a one of these 4 guys other than Ethan Warren, actually any of the 5,
right,
it'll be the same thing.
Yeah.
They'll have another GM that doesn't have that, the ability for others in the league to say, yeah, he's proven it here. Look what he's done here. This is what's going to happen there.
Right.
They still haven't done that.
Yeah, and there have been retreads that have been, like we just said, Trent was a retread. He was a guy who...
But he was a poorly thought of retread.
Yeah, yes. And there aren't
like if you're going to get Rick Spielman, who a lot of people around the league really liked,
but
then you're like, all right, you got somebody at least everybody likes.
But it's funny, I had just a quick conversation with him over the weekend, congratulating him on getting the Jets job. And he's coming in as an analyst, and he was helping with them with their GM and head coaching search. And so he helped identify Aaron Glenn and all that kind of stuff. And they immediately started pushing Rodgers out the door and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see where it goes with him. But he has had success and fails. And Leon and him, I don't know if they can be in the same room together.
It cost me $500,000, by the way. Try to get the extra.
He still likes Rick, but Rick did cost him half a mil.
You could bury the hatchet, though. If he brings the Super Bowl here, you could bury the hatchet, couldn't you?
Oh, yeah, of course.
All right, we're going to pivot from the Jags and the GM. You guys hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, 641-1010. Let's talk some hoop, including your Florida Gators, the SEC rocking and rolling right now. The Iron Bowl indoors. We'll do all that coming up with Mark Wise. Mondays with Mark as we march towards March Madness.
Gotta get to the station. On a scale from 1 to 10.
10.
10. 10. 10. 10. 10. XL.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
PRP treatment is kind of the thing these days, and in many cases, it eliminates the need for surgery. This is Sheridan Tootin, and my experience with PRP from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has been nothing short of great. I'm really feeling much better now. Ask your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist doctor about PRP treatment.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
AA Automotive helps keep your vehicle in dependable and safe condition. Call Sam, Harry, or Joe, and they'll check your brakes, tires, fluids, electric, and motor, so your ride runs smooth on the road. That's AA Automotive on Richard Street.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
Brian Wall here. Would you take your paycheck, go to the bank, cash it, and then simply throw it up in the air? I didn't think so. But in a way, over the years, that is exactly what you're doing if you have old or builder-grade windows in your home. Even if you have a brand new home, those windows are not the best windows you can have to save on your energy bills. Window World has sold millions of replacement windows to homeowners like you, and Window World's customer satisfaction is the highest in the business. Please check Window World out yourself and save on your new windows and on your energy bills. Compare with other companies and you'll see Window World is simply the best for less. It's up to you. You can call Window World and get a free estimate, get the best guarantee in the window replacement business, save money on your new windows, and save more on your energy bills. Call Window World today at 904-443-7001 or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Transform your bathroom with stunning shower glass from Sky Glass Solutions in Jacksonville Beach. For a free quote, call 904-608-5151 or visit skyglasssolutions.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On February 17, 1974, at the 16th Daytona 500, auto racer Richard Petty is the first driver to win back-to-back titles at Daytona, his fifth-grade American race.
This is Daytona, the awe-inspiring spectacle of Supercross, and the most challenging course to witness the air-catching, adrenaline-pumping, heart-pounding action unlike any other race in Florida. Daytona Supercross. The biggest names battle it out under the lights at the World Center of Racing. Don't miss it. The gate drops Saturday, March 1st. Secure your tickets and trackside access today at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
When the heat's on high or the chill is too much, who you gonna call? Cool Cats Heating and Cooling is locally owned and operated with a perfect touch. You'll keep your home just right, day or night. AC to heating, don't take a beating. Call the coolest cats in town. With a 5-star Google rating, they're your neighbors, ready to help. So get your paw of approval from Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town. CoolCatsJax.com.
This is Hayes Carline here to help you break free from the chains of pest infestation. The talk of this town is Kingfish Pest Control. By now, many of your neighbors have already joined the Kingfish Revolution, leaving their homes and lawns protected and pest-free. Now it's your turn. Call Kingfish Pest Control and say goodbye to termites, ants, mosquitoes, and other annoying pests. Trust me, you'll get exceptional service and understand why your neighbors and I use Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jaguars.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
How about that block? Hand locked it, check it was out, and now it's Richard.
Mondays on XL Primetime, brought to you by Mokama. Check out their great craft in the tap room in Fernandina Beach.
They definitely are fun to drop in and hang out. The tap room open Tuesday through Sunday. Coffee every single day. Old 50s car dealership, and you can find them right there in the historic area. Of course, you can find them on the shelves at Total and ABC. Enjoy some delicious Mokama beer. Now, let's say hello to one of our cats. We call it Mondays with Mark as we march towards March Madness. We always love visiting with him. We knew and loved him as the Gatorland analyst, but he's grown so much more than that, seeing all...
Here we go.
What would you say, Mark?
Here we go.
First off, you've gotten older, all right? But second...
I didn't say that, Mark. You did.
but now you're embracing the entire Southeastern Conference, which, by the way, Mark, is the best conference in college hoops right now. Would you agree?
Okay, Joe, before I get started, was that the Isley Brothers on that bump music leading in there?
JJ,
it was Ice Cube, but he might have been sampling them. I'm not sure.
Mark, you're right. That was footsteps in the dark, Mark. I appreciate that talent that you had.
Oh, yeah.
That was the Isley Brothers.
Thank you very much.
Leon,
yeah, the historic in December has led to certain dominoes as we head toward the stretch of the SEC season. And one of those dominoes is the fact that it's really hard to have a bad loss in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma had one the other day, losing at home to LSU down the stretch there when they gave up a 4-point play and a 3-point play in the last 20 seconds of the game. But other than that, I think 12 is probably a lock at this point in time, and I think there's a good chance to get a 13th team in. So we'll have to see how it plays down the stretch.
13 of 16. We've now reached peak baseball tournament, SEC. The way that's wow.
Well, again, I think Lenardi this morning had 13 in because Georgia fell off, but Oklahoma and Arkansas are barely in. So I do think one of those three will make it. So I think 12 is almost a lock, and of course that will set a record because the record is 11 done by the Big East back in the I don't even know when, the 80s, 90s, whenever it was.
So Mark, I'm looking at this Florida schedule.
Yeah.
They literally might have to collapse to not get a 1 seed. You got Oklahoma at home, at LSU, at Georgia. That's 3 wins right there. You got Texas A&M's a difficult game, but it's at home. You got to go to Alabama. Then you got Ole Miss at home to finish up the season. And this is also a team with not only the best win of the season by anybody, but a rout in that game. A rout of Auburn. So, I mean, they're going to have to really stumble to not get a 1 seed. Would you agree with that?
No, not necessarily at all, because it also depends on what people do around you. Everybody thinks that it's only your resume that matters, and that's just not the case. So I agree, and I like the way that you're now playing games on paper instead of on the court. But
you win one of those 2 games against A&M and Alabama, either one of those games, and you win out the rest of them, that's going to be very difficult for them to not get a 1.
Yeah, if you put it like that, here's the thing that I want to bring to the table that's a little bit different. With the league as physical as it is this year and as good as it is this year, I think it takes a new meaning to being top 4 in the SEC for the tournament, for the SEC tournament, not because it's an easier path to win the tournament, which it is. But I think at all costs, you've got to avoid playing 4 games in 4 days. As a matter of fact, if you took in a secret room right now, if you took Bruce Pearl, Todd Golden, Nate Oates, whoever, Rick Barnes, and you said, you know what, you're going to get a top 4 seed, but you're going to go out after 1 win in the tournament, I think they all would go, if I come out healthy, I think that's okay.
Now, Mark,
that's a lot. Yeah.
Yes, a lot. Now, Mark, who's your 1 seed right now if the tournament was to end right now? Who are your favorites right now for your 1 seed?
Are you talking about nationally?
Nationally,
yeah. I think you've got to have, in some order, after Auburn, there's got to be Florida and Alabama. And then I think it's going to be real interesting because Duke will not have the same resume. Their strength of their resume is basically in the non-conference. Houston beating Arizona at Arizona the other night is a huge win down the stretch. So in my view, I think it's going to be, if things play out, you said right now, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to say it's 1, 2, 3 is Auburn. Auburn by a lot. They've lapped the field. That's a done deal.
Okay.
Alabama, Florida, and then it gets interesting. I'm going to say right now, as of today, Duke.
Okay, I love it because, like you said, you talked about the other quality wins, and then you take a look inside your conference. You take a look at the quad one, all the ones that are so important. We're talking with Mark Wise. He is the king of college basketball, as we know it. Mondays with Mark, we'll have a visit with him as we lead all the way up to March Madness. And so when you think of the great storylines, and we've been talking about this, and you could shed some light on it, but I think, Mark, over the last decade, the decision made inside AD's offices, inside the SEC, to become more competitive in basketball, now we're seeing the fruits of all that labor, say, over the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. There's a perfect storm going on, and the genesis for that was that when I think Mike Tranghese is who they hired as a consultant that came in and said, you got to redo your non-conference scheduling. You've got to pay closer attention to conference scheduling and whatnot. Then you add into that the upgrade in coaching. Just take a look around the SEC in terms of the coaching acumen, the talent that's involved. And then you throw in the resources, which allows you to buy players. And I don't care what we call it, we're paying players. So you've got great acquisition of talent, great coaching, and better attention to, I don't want to say gaming the system, but working the system in terms of scheduling and understanding that you shouldn't be scheduling a lot of quad 4 teams. That's a better understanding of how to do that.
All right, Mark. Michael Hanglon came back, played well in 20 minutes against South Carolina. Elijah Martin looked
a big, important number there. The fact that he was able to play 20 minutes.
Right. The 20 minutes is way more important than the 2 points. Way more.
Correct.
Elijah Martin looked good when he came back.
Yeah.
If this team gets healthy and if Condon comes back healthy, you're talking about a team with, 4 legit options in the front line, and then a backcourt of guys that can shoot it from all over the place. This becomes a legitimately dangerous team in the tournament.
I don't think there's any question about it. I always look at it this way. How many different ways can your team win a game? This Florida team is different defensively in large part because of Martin and because of Condon and Houck being a year older. Chinulu gives them a little bit different defensive presence downstairs. So if you can win the games, not just offensively, but play enough defense, and Florida's not going to be a lockdown defensive team. They're not wired that way to play that way. But I think defense today is, can you stop the other team from doing what they do best? Can you stop the best player from getting his moment in the off? That's what defense is all about right now. Offensively, man, I'm telling you, when you can shoot the ball the way Florida shoots it, and then when you can rebound when there are those misses, good luck.
Now, Mark, we all know who the elite teams are in the SEC as far as tournament basketball goes, but is there any middle of the pack team that you should be wary of in the SEC championship or maybe in the tournament itself?
Missouri. Mm-hmm. I like Missouri a lot. I've had them 4 times now, twice at home, twice on the road. It's quite the turnaround that Dennis Gates has done from last year. Remember, they did not win a game in the league last year. Went 0-19, including the first-round exit in the SEC tournament. So he redid the roster. They got healthy. They got Caleb Grill back. They added Mark Mitchell from Duke, and he is a problem. He is a matchup nightmare. But what I like about his team is they can beat you in different ways with different lineups. And what I mean by that is basically Florida plays an 8-man rotation. Mm-hmm. 4 bigs, 4 guards. That's it. He'll go 10 deep, and the 9th and 10th guy might change from one game to the next in terms of lineups, foul situations, and et cetera. So I like what they've put together. They force you into mistakes. They're leading the league in steals per game, and yet what Grill's given them offensively along with Tamar Bates, there's a lot. That's a team that I think can play easily into the second week.
Couple more for Mark Wise as we have Mondays with Mark as we march towards March Madness. You mentioned the fact that they got the player from Duke. Are you cool with the portal? Because we argue about it all the time in football.
Yeah.
It's even more challenging in basketball.
Well, how many days do we have to discuss that answer?
It's the truth.
It's the portal combined with the NIL, quote unquote, that I don't like. I think everybody should. First of all, I'm all for players getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
They were downtrodden for 50 years by the NCAA. The NCAA is getting exactly what they deserve with the way they have handled student athletes over the years. The transfer portal, I just don't think you should be able to transfer, every year to a different place. If you want to add in, you can transfer the second time as a grad student. I'd be okay with that. But multiple transfers, and thankfully this is the last year of the COVID redo.
Yeah.
So we're going to at least drop back a year younger. But it's also one of the reasons why our game has never been better. The game has never been older. Older wins. I mean, I can tell you the best SEC freshman in the year this year, Trey Johnson at Texas, what's his team's record? Jeremiah Fears, what's his team's record? Asa Newell, what's his team's record? Now, there are a couple of outstanding freshmen, Pettiford for Auburn being one of them, but he doesn't start.
There's
gives them a big-time punch. So if you're relying on freshmen to win, like the last couple of years, you're not going to win big in March. The only exception to that might be Cooper Flagg.
Right, the elite of the the once in a quote generation type player.
He's that good.
Yeah, I mean it's awesome because I think even less, and I don't know, the number for NFL is 1.6% of college players go on and play in the NFL. It's got to be less in the NBA.
Way less.
Has to be. Yeah. Okay? So these guys now are realizing, all right, I can actually make money here playing in college. Why wouldn't I stay? Yeah, I love, that's the one benefit of this entire mess. Let me ask you real quick, Mark, before we get you out of here. Florida State, who's a good spot? Yeah. Who's a good coach for that job? Because that is a job where you can definitely win.
Well, I think there's a lot of good candidates. I mean, I've got one Thursday night that I think will most likely move. That's Mike Morrell at UNC Asheville. But I mean, who's the next Pat Kelsey? Is there a coaching job is there a coach that's done a better job Pat Kelsey has done with Louisville, not only in what he did not inherit, but he got lost to injury this year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, where did Pat Kelsey come from?
Maybe Todd Golden, actually. He's done a pretty good job too, man.
Yeah, I think there's going to be all kinds of good candidates.
We love it, man. All right, always great catching up. We look forward to it Mondays with Mark as we march towards March Madness. Thanks, buddy. We will talk to you next week.
All right, take care, everybody.
Thanks, Mark.
All right. That's awesome.
Joe, think about it. If you really think about this, man, considering how this season began with allegations of inappropriateness from him, to the injuries they've had, to dealing with those injuries, to finding ways to still win games, to going on the road and winning by 9, and really it wasn't even that close, at Auburn, to the big wins they've had, to that team staying together despite all the issues. If they somehow make a run, and dare we say it, Joe, win the whole damn thing, it would be better than those other 2 runs with Billy. And I love those Billy runs, but considering what they went through, it would be magnificent.
Completely unexpected. Let's at least make this the 10-10 take and just kind of pair up what Mark said with what you just said.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmaster since 68.
If you call them hunger pains or hunger pangs, it doesn't matter. You're probably getting them right about now. So drop on by any one of your area Sonny's when you are heading home. Pick up some delicious barbecue for dinner. You don't have to worry about cooking because they got it ready for you. But listen to what Mark said earlier. He said if you have Nate Oates, Bruce Pearl, he threw in Rick Barnes and then Todd Golden, and he was putting together a thought. But you say to yourself, has Todd Golden instantly risen to one of the top 4 coaches in the Southeastern Conference? And he's now being regarded as one of the best stories in college basketball. Yes, it is possible, and it's not like he has come in and been a world beater. He completely changed the look and feel of this basketball team from year 1 to year 2 and now obviously into year 3. So give him a lot of credit. But now he's being mentioned in a circle that I don't think too many people would have expected this early. That's the 10-10 take. Matt, because real quick, we'll head to break, but you guys think about this. He has moved up in the minds of many, not just Gator Nation, in the minds of many, as far as what he's capable of, as far as reconstructing a team and putting him in a position to be uber competitive.
Yeah, I mean, it's 3 years.
Yeah.
In 3 years, he's got them completely changed.
Yeah. They don't look the same.
No, they're not even close to what his first year. They're a different team. They're a tough team. That's what I love about them as much as saying they're a really tough team.
Yeah.
Physically, mentally, they're a tough team. And they've got guys. Mark said it best. They have an answer for everything. They got guys along the front line that can score. Hott's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He was 3 of 5 from the three in the last game.
Yeah.
He can shoot the ball. And that's a guy that can get rebounds, big rebounds for you. So you've got that. You've got guys all on the perimeter that can shoot. You got 3 or 4 guys that can handle the ball, which is so big in the tournament. You got to have somebody, guards or everything, right? And you got to have multiple guys that can handle the ball, and they have that.
Yeah. You got to love it. All right, into the 3 o'clock hour, Leon, there's some that don't want you to go up to Pittsburgh. There's some that are okay with you going up to Pittsburgh. Are you all right with that?
I'm all right.
All right, so we're going to get into that coming up. We have got to talk about the college football playoff expanding. We will do all that. Our quarterback whisperer dropping by a Mocama Beer Company Monday.
What do you think Dan and Jeff would be doing if they were never hired at 1010XL?
Who are you?
Dan Hicken.
Please call me Mr. Mayor.
And Jeff Prosser.
I
always wanted to be a comedian. Mornings on 1010XL.
Oh, but I think it's very funny. Hilarious.
Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Don't miss the Players' Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy, from delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash. There are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scottie Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course featuring the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Campione Law. This is Dr. George Bari, inviting you to look online at BariOrthopedics.com for the latest in medical advancements when it comes to getting you back to full joint health. After studying under Dr. James Andrews, I know proper diagnosis is the first key to treatment, and educating the patient is the fastest path to recovery. Whether it's chronic back pain, nagging arthritis, or necessary joint replacement, we're here to serve you in the best possible way. We are Bari Orthopedics, and online at BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
DuckDuck is now hiring plumbers. We offer excellent weekly pay, paid holidays, health insurance, 401k, and so much more. Apply now at DuckDuckRooter.com. That's DuckDuckRooter.com and click on the careers page. DuckDuck is an equal opportunity employer.
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mocama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect Pilsners and lagers, matching memories and some Mocama magic is what it's all about. Mocama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mocama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
I'm Max Fink, and I'll bring you the Gator Report several times weekly to keep you connected to Gainesville.
The Gator Report, put together by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Go Gators! I-9 Sports invites parents on the First Coast to log on and check out what they can offer with sports year-round. Spring and summer registration open right now. And with ages 3 to 7, there's something for everyone. i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code and get your kid in the game.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
If someone you love needs a pick-me-up, then it's time to get serious about it and send them a McCune floral arrangement. RJ here with 1010XL, and you'll be assured of a quality delivery. That's for sure. Log on and order online at CuneFlowers.com.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, Mom, I've been meaning to talk to you about some new COVID information I saw online.
Uh-huh.
I read that black folks like us with certain conditions like diabetes, heart disease, mental health conditions, or being 50 and older, like you, are at high risk.
Boy, you sound like a commercial.
I'm just saying. I know you love your ginger teas and essential oils, but remember, there are treatment options for COVID-19.
I promise if I get sick again, I'll call my doctor to ask about my options.
Visit WeTalkWeRise.com to learn more. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Follow Florida Gators men's basketball on 1010XL. Brought to you by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And by Renewal by Anderson, the official window and door replacement partner of the Florida Gators.
North Florida is growing with lots of new families joining our community. If you're one of them making the move here, your next move should be a call to American Electrical to create the best home automation system, enhancing your living experience. There are many ways your life can be made easier through smart home technology, voice-activated systems, automated lighting, total house temperature control. With American Electrical, they've got everything you need to automate your home and make it your true oasis. Check out American-Electrical.com, powered by professionalism and raising the excellence bar.
Barley and Pie Brewing Company is Fleming Island's first and only craft brewery, founded by the co-founder and brewmaster of Wicked Barley. Barley and Pie serves up local brews made right in your backyard. Hungry? Dive into their sourdough Neapolitan pizza, made fresh in-house every day. Find your new go-to spot in Fleming Island at Barley and Pie Brewing Company.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Here's your 1010XL local sports update. The latest USA Today men's top 25 poll is out, and Florida men's basketball is ranked second in the country. As March Madness quickly approaches, this puts the Gators in the driver's seat, along with the fine bench play of Denzel Aberdeen.
He's known every game this year that he's going to be a solid part of the rotation.
Jaguar #1 QB Trevor Lawrence, during a podcast earlier today, put to rest any notion of him going to Pittsburgh.
I have no trade clause in my contract, so I would know about it if I was getting traded, or if that was something that was going to happen. I'd have to be on board with it.
The Florida High School Athletic Association will continue the 2024-25 boys basketball regional playoffs with the second round today for Jacksonville and Northeast Florida. Notable matchups include Mariana at Jackson and Bishop Kenny at Ribault, with start time scheduled for 7 p.m. At your 1010XL local sports update, I'm Sam Nelson.
It's 54 degrees at 3:03. Time and Temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the quarterback whisperer, Denny Thompson.
Okay, bring it in.
Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security, security and automation experts, and George Moore Chevrolet.
1, 2, 3.
Always good to see the quarterback whisperers in the house. Denny Thompson hanging out with us for a couple of segs. Whisper, how are you?
I'm great, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful Monday.
Yeah, it is. The cool temperatures came back. Paxatani Phil, or whoever it was, that said that winter was going to stick around for another 6 weeks. Closer to being right now.
Right.
But only for a couple more weeks, and then we're done with it. All right, now we're going to talk quarterback storylines, including Trevor Lawrence up in Pittsburgh with our man Denny. But since we brought up Pittsburgh, Leon, you got to at least tell people what the quandary is that you've got, and then I got a couple texts I want to read, and then Denny can chime in on it too.
Well, I got the text over the weekend with the Steelers. They still reach out to me, and they said that the 30-year anniversary of the '95 team that went to the Super Bowl, they wanted to show us some love during one of the games. Wanted us to come back and kind of introduce us, maybe during halftime or something like that. So I asked the fans, they're like, "Hey, listen, started as a Steeler. I was asked Duval, would it be okay if I go back to the game?"
So off the text line, you gotta go, Leon.
I have questions, but go ahead.
Okay, yeah, because you got to chime in because you grew up. You're a Duvaller. You got to go, Leon. Only team you got to go to a Super Bowl with. I love the Jags, says another, but Leon better go to that reunion. Another one said, Leon, go, but wear a Jags jersey. I'm okay with that one too. What do you think?
Well, I mean, why is this even a question? And if you just shake your head at me if I'm not supposed to ask this.
No.
Is an NFL team paying you right now?
No.
Okay. I don't even know why this is a.
Well, you know,
Get your butt up there to Pittsburgh and celebrate with your boys.
Yeah, I haven't seen.
I love how Danny always looks bottom line, man.
Yeah,
Bottom
I haven't seen guys in a long time.
I'm not trying to get into his money. You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
I know what you mean. Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
I mean, of course.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm seeing myself at the dinner table with guys I hadn't seen in the locker room forever. So I'm sure
fun.
it's gonna be a lot of lies, a lot of stories. Guys talking about how great they were when they weren't. So
You could wear a shirt and then roll up the sleeve on your right arm where you got the Jaguar.
that is true. I do have Jaguar on my body.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, see, man, no. Yeah, you go up there. You have the time of your life.
There you
bro.
go.
You
All
can
right.
also use it as an opportunity to sell like your cigars or who knows.
JJ also thinking about bottom line.
I like that, JJ.
Because
Absolutely.
He mentioned Ike earlier. I'm thinking that is an opportunity.
True,
because he's in the cigar business.
He's one of my business partners.
See if you can work in like a weekly paid seg on some Pittsburgh area station.
Radio station.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, man. We do all kind of. I'll fly up there with you. We do some
love it.
business.
There you go. I love it.
You just got to break 6 points off.
As long as you don't try and take Trevor with you up to Pittsburgh.
Nah.
So let's just segue into the quarterback whisper here because we played a soundbite from Trevor talking with Kay Adams earlier today with her show, and he basically said there wasn't a whole heck of a lot to what was going on about the fact that Pittsburgh may have picked up the phone to call Jacksonville inquiring about Trevor. First off, who picked up the phone on this end? Because there isn't a GM, okay? Who's taking that phone call? Number one.
That's a great question.
Yeah. And he did say he doesn't have he has a no trade clause.
Well, I mean, if you're
After
Pittsburgh,
that amount of money?
if you're Pittsburgh, why wouldn't you make the call?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, of course you're going to make the call. I'm sure maybe that wasn't the only call they made. I don't know, but I mean, there can't be any smoke to this. There just can't. There can't be, or I should say, any fire to this. You can't. If you're Jacksonville, you can't even think about this.
No,
I don't even care what's on the other side of that trade. This is not a thing. Just keep building around 16. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I mean, dadgum, you're already not winning. What else can happen?
After everything they've done to this point in terms of the hire,
yes,
it begins with Liam to fix Trevor and then all the other guys that were hired around him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think this is the thing. I would be floored if Jacksonville ever entertained any trade offer. Now that you've got him signed and locked in,
yeah,
like what are we even talking about? I'm sure Pittsburgh called, but like you said, I mean, who answered on the other side?
I'm so glad that Danny's here. That, like he's the only guy in my corner. I feel like actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I just feel like everybody else is like so negative. Trevor, negative. Not you. I'm just saying in general.
I was thinking, wait a minute.
There's a lot of negative Trevor going on right now, and it's just I keep saying it over and over. What do you call me, Leon? You call me his what? His apologist? What do you say?
Yeah, his sympathist.
Because I'm about to get.
Because I just see a lot of a young dude who's been put in a crappy situation and has been told, okay, you got to be great now. And
I mean, maybe it doesn't work out, right? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe he is not everything that I think he's going to become. The point is, like, he can be.
There's
an
opportunity there. Yes,
right. He's still in the game. Like most people at this point aren't in that game anymore. They're either a superstar or they have busted. Trevor's in that game, and to your point, like, has he been given a fair shake yet here? I don't know. Maybe he has. Maybe he is the problem. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But from where I sit right now, you don't let that cat go. You continue to build around him, and you trust what the initial evaluation was that you had on him because you weren't the only one that had it. There was 31 other teams that would have also taken him number one that year if they needed a quarterback. So I think it's too soon. I think you ride this thing out, and I hope to see Trevor get a third contract.
Honestly, I don't think you could give up on him after this year. If they go, let's just say they go 6-11, okay, and they still have problems on the offensive line, okay, and there's just
the blame game will continue. It'll be somebody else.
So since I said that, then so your idea then is he's got to prove something this year. Or it might be, or it might be,
agree with that.
or it might be time to let him go. Is that what you're saying?
Not let him go, but a big step forward needed.
Oh, I think he definitely needs to prove something. There's no doubt. But that's what I'm asking you. Do you think, like, if it doesn't work this year, ask you too, Leon, if it doesn't work this year, is it time to cut bait?
I'm not saying he's a bust, but he's on the fence if it don't work out this year.
I actually will agree with that. I will say if you don't see a big step forward this year,
what would be a big step forward?
Let me see if I can.
That's a great question.
Individually, statistically, or team?
Team.
I would say both.
Offense, like identity of offense revolving around what Trevor does.
Right.
And Trevor succeeding in that on some level. And you saying, okay, well, when you put the pieces around, this thing can work with this guy. If it doesn't take a step forward, I think then you do have to take a look at it and go, all right, we've got culture problems in Jacksonville. Wait, is Trevor part of that?
Right.
I don't believe he is at all in any way, shape, or form. But at some point, you got to change the culture to win. And, I mean, the last person that's kind of left in that conversation is Trevor at this point from a leadership perspective. So I do think at some point it will be fair.
Yeah, I'm listen, if Trevor goes 35-12 and we're 6-11, I mean, do you want to see him individually excel, or do you want to see him kind of collectively? Because that's kind of what Harbaugh did with Justin Herbert. I mean, he got, his numbers went down, but collectively they won more games.
Oh, his numbers were actually good. He's like 24 touchdowns,
24 and three picks. But his first year,
overall yards.
From yards. Yeah.
So I mean, I kind of want to see both from Trevor. I kind of want to see him do well, but I want to see him take this team. I want to see the Trevor that against KC in the tunnel was in the middle slapping hands.
Love that Trevor.
I love that Trevor. Like, we're going to be back.
And especially when we sit there and go, when was the last 300-yard game he had? Those types of things, those are real, okay? Your performance does lead you to victory or keep you from – in other words, he needs to be responsible for wins instead of having excuses around him for not winning.
100%. And as much as I like Trevor, as much as I believe in Trevor, the minute that Trevor put his signature on that deal last year, the expectation to win
skyrocketed.
Yeah. All right, so let me give you an example, okay? And this is just something that we'll probably have fun with this throughout the course of the week. But as Matt said, he goes, I'm tired of all the negative. Well, this is negative, okay? And this is NFL.com. They put out a story about quarterback rankings. And there were a ton of starters in the National Football League this last year through injury. But they put together the rankings of nearly 60 starting quarterbacks this past season. I'm just going to rattle off the obvious and then get to Trevor. Lamar, Josh, Burrow, Jared, Goff, Jaden Daniels, Baker, Mahomes, Stafford, Jalen Hurts, Jordan Love. They make up the top 10. You could put them in any order that you want to. You might argue move up, move down. Well, then we get to the middle, okay? You start hearing names like C.J. Stroud, 15th, Bryce Young, 16th, according to this story, who lost his job, came back. Kyler Murray, 17th, Tua, 18th, Dak, 19th, Bo, 20th, Drake May, 21st, Aaron, 22nd, Russ, 23rd. Still haven't called Trevor's name yet. Derek Carr, 24th, Kirk Cousins, 25th.
Derek Carr's ain't playing anymore.
Trevor Lawrence, 26th. That's honestly that.
Is that real?
It's NFL.com. It's ridiculous.
That's terrible.
When you hear those types of I have to read the rest of it. Like I got the comments about it as well, but that's a ridiculous number to find yourself in right now.
That's that whole list is sketchy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the list, but I will say this: it's very difficult to argue against 68 turnovers in 60 career games. It's very difficult to argue against that.
It is, but I bet
hard. That's a hard thing to swallow right there.
If you put what number was Trevor on that?
27.
26.
26.
Okay. I guarantee you, if you went to every NFL GM and said you can redraft the quarterback position, Trevor would not be 26.
No chance.
Right.
I mean, that's
Geno Smith is double him.
That's absurd. That's absolutely absurd. Bryce Young, it was where?
Yeah,
16.
Bryce was
10 spots ahead of him at 16.
Wow.
So that is what you're up against, because you got to clean up the mistakes and the team's got to start winning. And they were 3-10 in one-score games. And as the quarterback,
I don't think anybody's saying that it's good.
Yeah.
Right? Like, nobody's saying that it's good. I just, we've seen that it can be. You've seen the potential. You've seen what the guy
not just
can
good,
do.
Great.
Well, and let's think about this. we talk about this in the facility all the time. Like I have to see you make an elite play, and once I see you make that elite play, I know it's possible.
Right.
And a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL, you do never see them make that elite play. Has Bryce Young made an elite play in an NFL game? Maybe. I haven't seen it.
I can't say it because I haven't watched enough of it. He did reclaim a little of his pride and play by stepping back up, but there's still a big question mark. Brock was right around where Bryce was. He was a little bit, let's see here, Brock was 14th. 14th.
Who did this list?
This is NFL.com.
But who for NFL.com? Because I just want to make sure I don't ever listen to anything they say.
Exactly.
Roger Goodell.
Yeah.
That's absurd. My point is, he's got elite traits that most don't have.
We also saw it for half a season in 2022 when everything was working.
Yeah.
You saw he was like elite.
You just can't let that go.
Okay, we're now entering the third.
No, I understand what you're saying.
We're entering the third season since 2022.
I get it. But he's also dealt with injuries the last 2 years, too.
Oh, yeah. No question.
There's not a person in this
completely
draft that has
dysfunctional staff, too.
Single trait that Trevor Lawrence has.
Yeah, and I still want to see him turn that corner and make all of Duval happy because we know he has the skill set that we're all talking about. By the way, the guy who wrote it did exactly what his name says. He shook us. His name is Nick Shook. Nick Shook.
Good job, Nick. You probably got some retweets on that one.
All right. So it is XL Primetime. We'll stay on that subject. You guys can hit the text line 641-1010. And then we do need to bring up the college football playoff expansion. They've had it for 1 year as 12. They're going to expand that puppy before you know it.
At the end of the day, matriculate your way home with the Frangie Show.
What does that mean?
It means buckle your seatbelt, Dorothy.
This isn't Kansas.
The great Oz has spoken.
Afternoons on 1010XL.
Lauren Brooks here. At Hodges Mazda, they are proud of their solid reputation in the Jacksonville community. As your hometown Mazda dealer, their high customer service standards and their huge inventory of new and used cars provide their customers a consistently first-rate car buying experience. Their professional non-commissioned sales team puts your best interests first without exception. And all new vehicle purchases include the Hodges Mazda Protection Package. Visit them online at HodgesMazda.com or stop in today to learn more and discover the Hodges Mazda difference.
When you step into a courtroom, you're stepping into a fight. Someone wins, someone loses. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we've got the experience you want in your corner if you or a loved one suffer a personal injury or a wrongful death. We're here to fight for you. So if you get hit, hit back with Hastings Injury Law, offices Jacksonville. Find us on the web at 904hitback.com or call our 24-hour helpline, 904-HITBACK.
Get a healthy start in 2025. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to encourage you to get healthy and stay healthy this year. They have a dedicated team who are committed to providing quality care. The goal is to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Visit duval.floridahealth.gov to learn more about their health programs and services. That's duval.floridahealth.gov.
Upgrade your home with the winning combination of style and performance from Renewal by Andersen. Energy efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. For a limited time, buy 4 windows or patio doors and get the 5th free. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. This offer expires February 28th. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Pick it here for Bound 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of Bound 9. Visit Bound 9 Associates today and experience the difference. Bound 9 Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal, what's the matter?
I don't know about this air conditioner, Jason.
You know, my job is actually to...
I mean, 1 minute it's working, and the next minute it's not working. And every time I leave the house, I don't know if I'm coming back to a nice, cool oasis or a steaming cesspool of sweaty garbage fumes and dog farts, and then I'll never get to sleep. And I'll be too late to call someone. And what if I've got a big meeting the next morning and I haven't slept a wink?
Okay, dude. Stay cool. Or at least stay cooler.
But
Bueller Air and Plumbing can figure out why your AC only works sometimes and not all the time. We fix that kind of stuff every day.
You mean you can...
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend all your time worrying about an air conditioner that can totally be fixed, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Get closer to nature.
Trying to get close to these bucks out here.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Faber, and Captain Kirk Waltz. The Nimnicht Outdoor Show. Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Saturday morning, 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
This is Daytona, the awe-inspiring spectacle of Supercross, and the most challenging course to witness the air-catching, adrenaline-pumping, heart-pounding action unlike any other race in Florida. Daytona Supercross. The biggest names battle it out under the lights at the World Center of Racing. Don't miss it. The gate drops Saturday, March 1st. Secure your tickets and trackside access today at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Hey folks, Nick here for Zero Res, and if you still have a little bit of time for the hottest price of the year on carpet cleaning, maybe you had people over for the game or you're doing early spring cleaning, but in February, only $147 for 3 rooms, plus the 4th room is free. That's right, schedule now and you'll get 3 rooms for $147, and the 4th room is free. Yeah, the 4th room is on me. Hottest price of the year. Zero Res. Spell it forward, spell it backwards. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
CEROREZ. Zero Res.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it work. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
Welcome to ABS Advanced Business Solutions, your local authorized technology partner and home to Xerox copiers.
Advanced Business Solutions.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mondays on XL Primetime, brought to you by Mokama. Check out their great craft in the tap room in Fernandina Beach.
So we went through the rankings of Mr. Shook as far as the quarterbacks from 2024, all the starters. Mac was 42nd, just behind Mason Rudolph, and Trevor was 27th. We'll keep pouring into that one, but the further along you went with the list, the more crazier it got. It was already bad enough with that, but anyway, we'll table that one for now and get back to that, I'm sure, at some point later on this week. It is XL Primetime, Okama Beer Company Monday. Big Leon Searcy, Matty Hayes, Joe C, JJ. We got Denny Thompson for one more segment. So when we talk about this college football playoff, I want you to jump in on that. But first, you got to talk about your schedule that you're going on. This is what the Quarterback Whisperer has to do because you're seeing all your different clients. So just give us an idea of what it's going to look like.
Yeah, it's a crazy time of year.
Tell them
got
why.
Draft prep going on right now, obviously, but then I take off tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Go Starkville, Mississippi for a couple days. Come back here on Thursday, do a podcast. Head to South Carolina for a wedding of one of our players.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go from there to College Station. From College Station down to Miami. I'll be back here for a day or so. And then I think a shoot up to Oklahoma. And then down to Houston. And then back here.
Sounds like Minshew's trip in the RV.
So you're going to College Station? Is that from Marcel Reed?
No, Brady Hart.
Okay.
Yeah, the kid from Cocoa, their new signing.
Yeah.
The spectacular.
Yeah.
Really good player. Really good player.
And so just you don't have to give away everything, but timeline-wise, what are you doing when you arrive, when you step on the campus?
Man, there's a lot. With all of these guys, most of these guys anyway, I feel more than just the trainer role.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got a lot of business we got to get to. We got a lot of different NIL opportunities to go over. things like that. But then, yeah, we will check in, get them uploaded into some video uploaded into our system. They'll be down a couple weeks now for spring break, so it's a good way to just kind of work on a couple things, give them some plyo routines, things like that, so that when they come down to spring break, we motion capture them. We've got everything we need there. And then we can set that spring break really just kind of sets the rest of our year for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
From that point now, we can start to coordinate when they're going to come in and out of town, what they need to work on,
right?
Rotationally or strength-wise, flexibility, whatever it is. And then really for us now, we're getting ready for next season. I mean, it's that time. A lot of these guys are starting spring ball in a week and a half.
Yeah.
March 3rd, I think, is a lot of guys start spring ball on March 3rd.
It's so big for those quarterbacks now, too.
Yeah. Oh,
guys
yeah.
like Jackson Arnold, who's had a new spot.
Whoever
Connor
just moved
Wigman
is what you're
who's
saying.
in Houston. Yeah, all these guys that are moving. This is it used to be spring was, it's just the young guys, get them some reps. Now it's critical.
John Mateer at
John
Oklahoma.
Mateer.
Listen, that kid.
Real deal.
Yeah.
Real deal. That's Cam Ward.
And then you mentioned Luke Krummenhoek from Tallahassee to Starkville.
Yep. I got to go to Tallahassee as well. Forgot about that one. Yeah, got to go to Tallahassee as well.
So you're saying there are already studs that are coming in.
Yeah. I mean, it's like it's critical for them now. Now it's like it's no longer just a development type of practice. Now it's legit where, all right, we're installing and we've got a new quarterback and he's got to figure out, we got to figure out him, and then we got to have some kind of culture shift there. I mean, a lot of coaches are now starting to talk about we should follow the NFL model. It should only be, some OTAs, and it should be, a mini camp here, and then we go to fall camp early, like 2 weeks early, and you go 6 weeks in fall camp. I think that's what they're eventually going to do. But if they do that, Denny, then you're talking about a quarterback who moves in the offseason. He's got to get up to speed quick at that point.
Well, I think there's a fine line. I think let's take away the old rules of, hey, coaches can't be out there with the football these times of year. This is professional football, all right? Nobody cares about these guys' academics anymore. And let's just let them do football activities throughout the year. Maybe give them the month of January or something like that. Well, heck, I mean, football season don't even end until February now.
Yeah.
For some guys. And then do that model, right? All right, maybe we have 10 days of OTAs in May or in late April. And then most of them have half the month, if not most of the month of May off. Come bring them back in June, work them out, all that kind of stuff. And let's report for camp the last week of July.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so much
smarter.
It's so much more efficient. Yeah, smarter.
Easier on
whatever
their bodies.
You want to call it. Yeah, it's I don't understand. Because even right now, Joe, here's the thing. These guys are in there working out, and the reason they can't have a football is partly NCAA. The other part is because of this thing called recruiting, where none of their coaches are there.
Yeah, because they're out trying to make sure that they get more.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So let's have two staffs. Let's do the whole Nick Saban thing. I love the idea. Let's have the football staff, and then let's have you some dudes that can get out there and get after it recruiting. Let's develop these guys as football players 12 months a year instead of 4 months.
It's funny because I don't think the NFL players like the 12 months a year the way things are going right now.
Yeah, but NFL players don't have to be on a campus.
True.
These guys are already there.
Very true. Yeah, very true. Because they're at a facility. It's all football all the time.
Yep.
They're not being told, hey, we can only have so many hours to work with you, but you still got to be here. You got to be accounted for. You got to do all your work with whomever's around you. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that's happening right now.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. The time constraint, what is it, 20 hours a week? Yeah, they need to eliminate that. You're right. They're professional athletes.
Yeah.
And they need more time. You need more time, films time with them, more weight room time, more on-the-field site time with them, because they got to get their bodies acclimated for what lies ahead.
If you do that and you do make that move to the NFL model, then these guys then should be able to major in football. They're majoring in football.
Yeah, they probably will.
You can't expect them to do what a typical student would do.
You can build a whole new college called sports management.
Yeah,
that's
well,
basically
well,
what it's
listen, when I say
that they're all doing what the typical student does now.
No, well, listen. I would about 20% of them are, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So and they do it well too. I would just say when I say major in football, I'm not saying they're majoring throwing a football. Their classes they will attend is going to be like kinesiology. It'll be like it'll be budgeting. Money, it'll be PR for yourself. It'll be those kind of courses that are geared toward being a professional football player. And again, it's only 1.6% of them that are going to make it. But, that's the risk you're going to take. If that's what you want to do, and you want to be in that. Mike Leach was brilliant when he said this 5 years ago.
You
can take that. Right.
Yeah.
I'm with you. But Leach was brilliant. He said, we're going to end up having just two courses. You get one where they just go major in football and they take courses toward being a professional.
Sure.
The other will be your typical student.
But the rude awakening will be all the ones who think they're going to go that one route because they're all going to be professionals.
Yes.
He's going to get the reality slap right in the face.
Yeah, because if you tell them to take the route of football,
most will take that easier route. Yes,
of course they are.
Yeah.
But then those are the same guys that more than likely are just going to make money in college, and then they're going to be busted
and have nothing to fall back on.
Right, or you save a little bit of that in case you do bust, and then you go back to school.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news for all of you guys, but I think y'all are forgetting one key point here.
Mm-hmm.
At most universities, 90% of that football team can't get in that school if not for football.
Right.
Very true.
Right.
Very true.
No so
doubt.
to
I
then,
had a 3.75, by the way.
and you know what that don't get to do? It doesn't get you in Florida. That
I didn't want to go to Florida.
I'm saying, but you probably don't get you in Miami right now if you don't play football, right? Like, I mean, it's so hard to get into these schools. I listen. They need to go to class. They need to get an education. I'm not saying all that. I'm just saying.
I know what you're saying, but my grades and my SAT scores and my ACT scores were high enough to where I could have went to school.
Bro, I feel like I keep telling you this all the time.
We're not talking about you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying.
You're rare.
Leon, you go back through your team and you tell me how many get into Miami.
Every argument we have about this, I feel like I have to keep reminding you, bro, you're rare.
I understand, but most of those cats, they probably couldn't have gotten that school. But when I was at Miami, we had a 91% graduation rate. Is what I'm saying.
From the tutors going? Okay,
I'm just saying we did.
Either way, whether it's tutors or not, it doesn't matter. His point is these guys, when they were put in that situation where they had to go to school, they succeeded.
Exactly.
And that was kind of Leach's point, too. Look, if you give these guys the opportunity, you give them the ability to be helped beyond what typical students get because they do all this for your university. If you give them tutoring, they can make it.
Well, they got the bigger point in all of this is just that it's not they're not a normal college student because the time dictates.
Correct.
They don't have any time.
Yeah.
Correct.
Literally, I get copied on some of their schedules.
School, right.
And so you're saying even with 20 hours, they did not have enough time.
This 20-hour rule, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I get their schedules from 6 a.m. until about 7 or 8 p.m., 6 days a week. They don't have a free 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's nuts.
In their schedule. Yeah. I mean, it's just what it is.
Yeah,
it was like 6 to 8 because after practice, you had to get tutoring hours.
That's your tutor, yeah.
Yeah, you had to get hours in after practice.
Yeah, it's intense. You're right. And
also
by the way,
therapy too, in case you need it.
When the stakes are higher now, which they are, they can demand even more of them. Basically.
Oh yeah.
All right, we'll talk college football playoff next week.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, Denny, we always appreciate it, bro.
All right, guys.
At Denny_Thompson, you definitely can check him out as far as 6 points and everything's going on with the quarterbacking world. Leon, one real quick off the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures, about you going back to Pittsburgh, says he should go. He should say he doesn't know, though, if that field felt more like home field advantage when he was with them or with the Jaguars. Because the Jaguars won their share up there.
They did.
In old Pittsburgh.
They did.
Find Florida Gators basketball on 1010XL.
Florida aims to overwhelm Oklahoma on their trip to the top. Gators Sooners, tomorrow night at 7 on 1010 a.m.
These days, we do everything from our phones. That's why JEA's app lets you manage your utility services anytime, anywhere. Whether you want to view your account, pay your bill, sign up for programs, or check the outage map, you can do it all right from the app, when and where it's convenient for you. Because we want to make doing business with us as quick and easy as possible. Download the free JEA app from the App Store today. JEA, your community, your utility.
Frank Frangie here. It's new year, new truck time at Nimnick Chevrolet. This month you can save up to $12,000 off a new Silverado. Unlike most dealerships, Nimnick Chevrolet has the largest inventory on the ground, ready for you to explore. With their extensive selection, you're sure to find the perfect truck at Nimnick. Nimnick Chevrolet is more than just trucks. They've got the largest inventory of new Chevy SUVs in town right on their lot. Visit the showroom on Cassett Avenue. NimnickChevy.com. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Get this thing unwrapped here. Duval!
Surprise!
Cross, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, Dan. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. Johns County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Stash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, like me. I'm sure there's a Daily Stash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course.
Oven roasted beef, monster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daily Stash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Daily Stash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
Are you an experienced chiller technician and looking for a role where your skills are truly valued? It's time to make the move to Local 234, plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. You'll get top pay, comprehensive health and welfare benefits for your family, and a pension that doesn't come out of your pocket. Join the team that's got your back. Local 234, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit UA234.com to send your resume today.
Equal opportunity employer.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On February 17, 1974, at the 16th Daytona 500, auto racer Richard Petty is the first driver to win back-to-back titles at Daytona, his fifth great American race.
This is Hayes Carlion for Physician Guided Weight Loss. I'm down 20 pounds already thanks to Physician Guided Weight Loss. I feel great, and it's all thanks to them. Their amazing technology, fast setup, friendly staff, and proven results have sold me. They can help you too, and it's affordable with firm pricing. No rising costs as you go. If you're like me and looking to kick off the new year with a leaner body, call my friends at Physician Guided Weight Loss at 257-4344. That's 257-4344.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Bull riding. The perfect fusion of strength, skill, and pure willpower. Professional bull riders aren't just athletes. They're daredevils with cowboy souls. Come experience the true modern West, where 8 seconds of glory will create a lifetime of memories. It's the Michelob Ultra PBR Jacksonville at ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, February 22nd and 23rd. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com and PBR.com. Hold on tight. The ride of your life is about to begin.
Hi, it's Ben, second generation from Beards Diamonds. Guys, if you're popping a question soon, looking for an anniversary gift, before you buy anywhere, shop Beards. From a half carat to 10 carats, Beards will beat any competitor's price.
In the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to CarlsonDentalGroup.com. That's CarlsonDentalGroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Hey, this is David with Royal Pest Services. The fact that we've been bundled up the past month gave us an idea. Let's bundle up also with our Centricon and Pest Control bundle, starting at $349. Visit RoyalPestServices.com for your free inspection.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. The Weekend Rewind, brought to you by Cycles of Jacksonville, the big boy toy store for big boy toys.
What happened this weekend?
All-Star Weekend is a disgrace.
Gotta catch it first.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Matt.
The Gators keep on rolling.
How about that block? Hand locked and checking it was Halp, and now it's Richard.
Byron wins again in Daytona.
There could be a two-time winner here. William Byron. Nemechek, Reddick. Off turn 4 and to the flag. Checker is waving, and William Byron has won the 500 for the second year in a row.
We smashed Canada at their own sport.
Our nation's face-off matchup is underway, and the gloves are off. Matthew Tkachuk and Brandon Hagel. Hagel from Tampa Bay, Tkachuk from Florida. Did not see this coming.
Did not see this coming? Oh, I think we might have. But that was the weekend rewind, the weekend that was. That was Sean McDonough, correct, JJ?
Yeah, it was on ESPN.
Yeah, and so we did not get the squeaking Sean McDonough.
Well, maybe later in the game. I didn't.
Yeah, which we dearly missed. So he probably did anticipate that might have been coming. Now, if you missed out on a great weekend, make sure you drop on by Cycles of Jacksonville. They are on Atlantic near Regency, but they've got a really cool event coming up this weekend up in Hilliard, and you definitely want to be part of it. This is Triumph, normally on-road, but they've got a full line of off-road that they want you to find out about. So just make plans. You can head on up there and enjoy it. It's the North Florida MX Park, and it'll take place with their off-road demo day this Saturday from 10 to 2 p. So make sure you check that out. William Byron has won back-to-back Daytona 500s, and there was, like we said, a horrific crash there at the end, which ended up just a lot of cars got knocked out. This is nothing out of the ordinary on super speedways with restrictor plate, or not restrictor plates, but just the way things have worked there. Everybody is just all packed together, but still pretty exciting finish for him. That's for sure. All right, JJ, hit it.
Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, my takeaway is that last time I was in Pittsburgh was about 10 years ago. And let me just say, they didn't bring out the welcome bag when I showed up. It was actually Christmas. I was there with a teammate. They helped feed the homeless and clothe the kids for Christmas. And I was at a Mike Tomlin practice. And one of the trainers came up to me while I was on the field and said, "Leon, what the hell are you doing here?" And I haven't been back since. I haven't been back since, bro. Yes, bro. I was just innocent. I was an innocent bystander. I'm just sitting on. It's after practice. I'm on the field. Ray Seals is going down there to talk to Mike Tomlin and everything.
Catching strays.
And the guy came up to me and said, "Leon, what the hell are you doing here?" And I was like, "Wow." I was in my feelings a little bit, and I haven't been back since. So I'm in a conundrum.
Have you talked to him since?
Nah, I've talked to him. I don't know if he is. I don't know if he's alive still. But I'm just saying, he was an older guy. I'm just saying. I'm just telling you how I was welcomed.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if I decide to go, hopefully I don't get that same reaction.
One of our texters did say Big Sirs is DTWD, Duval till we die.
All day.
No one can dispute that.
That's right.
Yeah, my takeaway is you can still go to that thing and still, you are still TTD.
I am, no doubt. But if I catch any friction, I might have to fly some Duval up there if I
Just
show some
roll
hands.
that right sleeve up, man.
Yeah.
Roll that right sleeve up and
The
wear
other
it
one did
proud.
say. The other one did say, which you'll laugh at this. The question is, will Boselli let him go to Pittsburgh?
Oh, stop it! I mean, he's got to eat. That job ain't got nothing to do with me.
Right, but if firstborn tells you can't go,
I'm grown.
All right, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, my takeaway is, look, we got 5 candidates. Let's see what happens. You got 5 candidates. I think if you've gone this far deep into the kiddie pool, and they have gone deep into the kiddie pool now, okay, you may as well pluck another one out of it, and you may as well just go complete youth and see what happens. I mean, I don't know why you would reach back to something that didn't work. It just
that part makes sense.
And I understand that he's not Trent Baalke. I get it. He's not Trent Baalke. He could be his own man. He's still part of something that failed. And that's, you are part of that by proxy, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
And you're already way, way, way deep into this transformation to Young. Just go one step further and just make it complete Young.
Yeah, will not disagree with that at all. Ian Cunningham, James Gladstone, John Eric Sullivan, Ethan Watt, Josh Williams. Those are the guys that have been named as the finalists. And we'll go through the live interviews. And you are looking at let's just call them lieutenants, disciples, however you want to say it. Ian Cunningham's been around a while, but is coming out of the Bears organization. He's been with other teams. James Gladstone in L.A. under the Les Snead tree. John Eric Sullivan. If you look at what Brian Gutekunst has done up there in Green Bay, he's done a pretty solid job. And this guy learning from him, Ethan, as we mentioned, and then Josh Williams coming. Is there such a thing as a John Lynch tree? He's only been around for a short amount of time, but he also has been successful. And so here's another guy that has had a hand. And heck, that guy, Josh Williams, of all the ones, he may be as instrumental as any of them in lifting John Lynch, if you want to look at it that way. And there's multiple ways you can take a look at this. But just know this, people. If you go back to we really can go from the Derek Harvey draft on, and I always use this as my marker, from 2008 until now. Look how many times you drafted in the top 10. Look how many times you have drafted in the top 5. It's unacceptable. And there have been too many guys that have led the charge for this football team that have had experience. They just didn't have a whole lot of success as the general manager here. And in 2008, it's when Jack Del Rio said, I want to win out over my GM, and that was Shaq Harris at the time, and they moved up into the top 10 because they didn't have a record that had them in the top 10. They moved up to get Derek Harvey, which was a disaster. Another Florida Gator that they fell in love with because he was coming off of a championship
big season,
level performance, and they
got hot. He got hot, and,
and they went and heck, it was Reggie in 7, and then Derek in 8. Anyway, you can just go down the line with all the other ones that have not panned out, and so fresh eyes, as you said, to your point, Matt, is that I don't know whether inexperience or experience will pay off. Just get it right. Just get new eyes on this. Get it right. It's better to be lucky than good. I always repeat that. You need some luck this go around. As many different guys that have been brought in, you need as much help as you can possibly get. All right, a couple of other things that we haven't necessarily spent a whole heck of a lot of time. I mentioned Rick Spielman going up to New York and getting in with the Jets, and the fact that they made a swift decision to basically tell Aaron Rodgers that he's not part of the plans going forward, and we'll find out what happens with him and Devontae Adams, what all is going to happen up there. But there's a lot of change around the National Football League when you start adding up all these guys, and there's all the chatter. Would Tennessee entertain the idea of Aaron Rodgers? Would the crosstown Big Apple rival, the New York Giants, entertain the idea of Aaron Rodgers?
Maybe he follows Brett Favre and goes to the Vikings.
See, there's another one because Darnold will be out of there.
He just blew my mind.
Yeah, he will be out of there. I don't know what so you're at least saying, let's handicap this bad boy. That's a possibility.
Absolutely.
I mean, they still haven't made a decision. I don't know when they have to make a decision on Darnold, but they haven't made a decision yet.
Yeah.
So, and they've got JJ, and they love JJ McCarthy. They want him to be their quarterback. So, I mean, who knows? Who knows? Maybe Darnold goes. But if they pick up Rodgers, they're going to have to pick up that contract, too. So you're not going to have him sitting on the bench behind J.J. McCarthy.
No.
Wherever he goes, he's got to play, man.
Yeah. What about Aaron to the Niners?
How about to the Saints?
Well, okay. With you start
more.
Yeah, you start thinking of plausibility.
Yeah.
And salary cap room with which to wiggle.
Right.
Saying goodbye to Derek Carr. That was an expensive contract, too, by the way.
Well, anybody can get him in. It's just a matter of you got to make the moves to get him in.
Right.
So I think it's just about what fits with him. I think the Saints are definitely a fit, right?
Do you really want him in Northern California, Leon, with all those psychedelics close by? It's just that's a match made in not.
Plus, I don't think you're going to sit Purdy. They're not sitting Purdy. No way.
No. They're about to hand him
a lot of money.
Trevor like cash, and he will be their future.
I mean, there's only so many spots for him. Actually,
pretty close.
If you think about it, there's only so many spots.
You're saying for the next 2 years you wouldn't take Aaron Rodgers over Purdy?
I feel like towards the end of what I saw from Aaron Rodgers, he ain't the same dude. Okay. This is instead of Aaron, it's just
he still had 28 touchdowns last year.
He still made some. Yeah. He still made some of those brilliant.
He was like 28 and 10, if I'm not mistaken.
You know what I think you're doing? I think you're visualizing what he did here in Duval.
Oh yeah,
against this defense.
That's true. That's it, baby. That's it. He had a lasting effect on me here.
That was a stat sheet.
Yeah.
There's nothing real about that.
Okay, all right.
That was
That's
a
what
stat sheet.
It was.
That was a
absolutely.
stat sheet stuffer. That's
Both
what that was.
he and Adams.
We do make mediocre look good. You know?
Remember Flacco?
Yeah.
Oh,
Flacco
yeah.
had
Flacco, yeah.
4 touchdowns.
Yeah, he just went right. He was 13 for 13, something like that to
Who
start
was
the game.
Who was the cat from Cincinnati that came in here and just
Browning.
Browning.
Flipping
Oh,
Browning.
my
Flipping
God.
Browning.
Remember that guy?
He leveled us, bro.
He threw for 350.
Yeah, 350
I mean,
on the
could he go to the Browns if they somehow got Deshaun to retire?
It's funny because you're talking about the Browns being near the top of the draft.
Next year anyways.
And he's got the
but
Achilles.
But they still
They
own
have
his
all that
deal.
money.
Yeah, they still got to pay for that deal.
They're going to have to figure out how they're going to eat that, absorb that. They can't really move him.
Titans. I mean, there's not many places for him to go, man.
No,
there really isn't.
No.
The Saints might be the landing spot. I got news for you.
All right, well, we'll look around.
Or
and
the
see.
Raiders.
Yeah, Vegas.
Yeah.
Would Tommy want to bring A.A. Ron in and deal with that personality? He's got his own personality to deal with.
Carline will explain this.
Speaking of personality.
Right.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. Find the coolest cats in town at coolcatsjacks.com.
A.A. Ron.
Yes.
Embedded and shredded.
Yeah.
Where can you visualize?
I think it's Steelers or bust.
Steelers too, yeah.
Because I think anywhere else is going to be too far away. He's not going to go somewhere. He's got to worry about his legacy now.
Yeah.
Excuse me, because it went so poorly with the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's probably a first ballot Hall of Famer, but it's one of those things that if he goes somewhere else, like if he goes to the Titans or the Raiders, teams that would have the cap to afford him, and they go 5-12, which is what I think they would be.
That's a good point, yeah.
Then that's another thing that people are gonna talk about. So I think for Rodgers, it's go to Pittsburgh. If you go to Pittsburgh, you can absolutely, with Aaron Rodgers, he could win 10 or 11 games there in a very tough division. So that would make sense. But short of the Steelers, I think he should retire. And I don't know that Tomlin is going to be like really into having him.
Yeah, Mike tolerant? I don't think so.
Yeah, so I think it's a kind of a tough fit anyway. But from a football standpoint, I would say for Aaron Rodgers, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers or retire.
All right, what's coming up? GM chatter, I'm sure.
Yeah, GM chatter. We'll get into Trevor Lawrence had some interesting comments with Kay Adams on her podcast. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll get into Gators basketball up to number 2 in the country and a 1 seed by the selection committee. We no longer are leaning on Joe Lunardi and company for their projections. They're great, but now we actually have the committee coming out and saying this is our where we see it now. It's the only time they do it, which is weird. Like, it's not like college football where they do it every week.
Right.
Because Selection Sunday is still a month out. But this is the only time they sort of give you a glimpse of what they're thinking, and they had Florida as one. So we'll talk a lot of Gators basketball. Jags, Gators, Knowles. We'll have a scholar athlete as well, so it should be a very fun Frangie show coming up.
Do you have a no trade clause?
No, no one would want me, so it wouldn't really be like a need, but no, I've never asked for that in any contract.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Thank you, guys.
We appreciate it. Hayes,
We
France,
want you,
JJ.
Carlin.
Yeah, exactly. Don't let anyone shake you.
Right.
All right. Steelers, they're all okay with you going up there, Leon. At least Duval is giving you permission.
As long as you come back.
Yeah, I'm coming back.
Maybe you can hang out in one of those funky caves with Aaron Rodgers if he goes there. And
Negative.
A dark retreat together.
Shrooms. All right, we're done. Mokama Beer Company, they will definitely invite you to hang out Tuesday through Sunday, serving great craft every single day, coffee in their beautiful tap room. Drop on by South 8th Street in Fernandina if you're up there visiting. Definitely check it out. And their Wildlight location or on the shelves at Total and ABC. Check out mokama.com. We're done. Big Sirs, Maddie, Joe C, JJ. We got the French show coming up.
Like I said, we love Jackson. This is home for us. And there's a lot more on the football side that, we've yet to accomplish here.
Hi, I'm Steve Spurrier.
Hi, this